Water is now booze, everyone is titty much protally fit chased, and you're listening to Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we'll be discussing Broadcast Season 8, Episode 2, Benderama. My name is Michelle Burlingame. With me are Tommy Roulette.
How's it going?
Pete Woodward.
That's me.
And joining us once more is comedian Tim Cornett.
Hello.
America's
Hello.
Tim Cornett.
Hello.
America's Tim Cornett.
Wow, that was the hillbilly.
Tim.
That's exactly how my family pronounces
Well,
it.
the Tim Cornett is the Bizarro World version of you.
Tim?
The one that we
Yeah.
discussed in the last
Tim?
time you were on the show.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you remember. I could.
Tim Cornett.
You have to tell me if I start repeating myself.
No, it's look. Most of the people that listened back then don't anymore, so we're
Hey.
good.
Okay, good.
The last time I saw you, we just ran into each other at the park, and you had a gigantic dog with you.
Buford, yes.
It was a Pyrenees.
Great Pyrenees, yes.
What's the difference between a Great Pyrenees and just a regular Pyrenees?
I don't think there's any. You're either a Great Pyrenees or you're nothing.
That's a good bumper sticker.
If I were to make that like an instant print shirt,
You're
I
a Great
could sell
Dane or a
that, yeah.
shitty one.
That's like the kind of shirt that should be airbrushed at a fair.
But see, that was. I mean, we'll get to this later. But like one of the things that I've always liked about you, when I run into, is like your creativity for different angles on things seems boundless. So it's just like, okay, I'm working on this right now. You're doing like dog pictures with Santa.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is Tim gonna do next? Because it's always gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But like having a booth at the county fair with like weird dog puns airbrushed on shirts would be.
I would do that.
Yeah,
I would do that, honestly.
I'll let you know when the registration opens up.
Yeah, thank you. Because I can airbrush. That's kind of.
Perfect.
That's actually kind of true because I guess what I have is ADD in the age of YouTube. So I just like learn things and learn things and learn things and learn things. And it's not, it doesn't really amount to anything. I can just do a lot of things.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that helps you when the
I
world collapses.
personally changed the handle in my car door the other day.
Oh, congratulations.
All by myself.
Do you like crack it open and everything and get in there? Did you
Yeah.
not even?
I took the door. I ordered a new handle. Took the door panel off. Replaced the handle from the inside.
Oh my God.
Put that shit back on. It took me like a half hour. It was so easy.
And you
Isn't
did
that
it
the
all from
best?
YouTube?
And I did it all because I looked up one video on YouTube and I was like, oh, that's really fucking easy.
That's
I can do
great.
this shit.
I did some of that with my old dryer before
Mm-hmm.
it died, and now I have a newer one, and I don't necessarily want to go in there. But the old one's just like, yeah, just crack this thing open and prop it up and get in. I'm like, oh, this is easy. There's like 3 wires in here and a gas torch.
Yeah,
But-
we forgot about like repairing stuff for like 20 years.
You know,
We just threw it out.
because a lot of stuff is disposable. And then there were craftsmen and women who would do these repair jobs and things. But even now, like, I had this whole saga happen with the carpet cleaner a couple years ago where, like, there was one warranty service place that served the Hoover or whoever made it. And it stopped working. So I took it in there. And it's staffed like entirely by geriatric men, where the youngest guy in the shop is probably 55. The oldest is pushing 100 and doddering around. He's the guy in charge. He comes out, gives me a paper ticket. He's like, "Don't lose the ticket. If you lose a ticket, we can't help you. We don't have a computer." I'm like, "Okay, this is well into the second Obama administration. Like this, okay." How long is it going to be? Probably a couple weeks. Call back a couple weeks later. No, we're still trying to find the part from China. This goes on for like 6 months. And I call him back like 6 months in and get a different guy on the phone. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on with this? And I give him my ticket number. He's like, we don't have a record of that. Like, what do you mean you don't have a record of that? They've had it for 6 months. And he's like, hang on. He goes, well, I guess it was just here too long and we got rid of it. I'm like, you never fixed it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I paid you a deposit for this shit.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was so bad. So I ended up calling, I think it was Hoover. So then I called them or sent them like an angry email or something and got a call back from their customer service people. And they ended up like giving me a highly discounted brand new one or something. But it was still like, I could have taken care of this more than a year ago.
So you didn't vacuum anything for like a year?
No. It was a carpet cleaner. Like a carpet
carpet
shampooer.
cleaner. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, the cats in here make it so I can vacuum and half an hour later it's for nothing. That's another positive to the situation I'm in right now. Is this house is going to be feline free in a matter of days.
Oh, good. I got a couple I'll bring over.
Oh, fuck you. And you know, as I'm, you know, expanding my world and trying to meet new people, like I have this reputation for being someone who hates cats, and I don't hate cats. I just hate the ones that I've lived with for the last 10 years, and you know.
Why did you hate them? And how many were there?
There's 3.
Okay, that's a lot of cats.
Yeah, people are at parity with cats in this house. Too many things respirating. I mean, Tom lives in a menagerie, but his fiance is like a vet tech. Like and you're like a dog trainer, so I'd expect you to have a whole kennel full of puppies.
Right.
It's fine.
Which I don't.
But good. I mean, I like animals, and I'm fine with cats. What I don't like is having one that hisses at me when I come within 3 feet of it, despite the fact that I pay for his food and his shitbox powder. And then another one who destroys the carpet, the furniture, the walls.
Right.
And another one who plays with her shit like it's a toy and kind of carries it around the house. Like, I don't need that.
Oh, that's like a halfway house for cats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They all got out of, like, and that's the excuse that was, he had a hard life. I'm like, not as hard as mine's been.
Yeah,
for the
no,
last 10
that's
years.
I don't know as much about cats as I do about dogs, so it's always like guessing. Because we have a cat and I love him, but this morning he's taken, and this is like a recent behavior. Every morning at 5:30, he'll crawl under the covers and drool on my face.
Yeah.
So
I got one
breath?
that does that sometimes.
yeah, and
Does
this
it like smell like cat food or like salmon?
It's like it's before the salmon, so it's just like warm and wet.
Yeah, it's
and
just
like-
gross.
and it's like right on my face. So I sleep with a cover over my head just because whatever.
Right.
So this morning, in trying to like ruthlessly get under the covers, he like stuck his paws in and like scratched my ears a little bit,
shit.
like right on the inside of my ear. And I'm like, ah!
Yeah, and then I think that's probably why the one hisses at me. Like there was some incident or something years ago where he just got scared because he was an asshole, and I reacted, and now I'm the bad guy. Like
Sid is pretty forgiving. He'll be back right at it tomorrow
drooling.
morning. Yeah.
You ought to teach him how to drool like coffee art. Like get him
Yeah.
to do it in like shapes like a barista.
That would be really cool,
I
actually.
mean, I don't know. Put those training skills to work, man.
Yeah.
I figure maybe if you like drizzle catnip in a certain shape, it'll kind of foul it.
I was at the pet store today, and this is just like they've rebranded Lamb Chop, like the puppet Lamb Chop, for pets.
What?
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that the other
seen
day when I was at the
Oh,
pet
so it's
store.
wait, it's still lamb chop. It's not like PETA got their hands on them, and now it's just like
No.
tofu chop or so. It's
Yeah, but it's like
Sherry Lewis's lamb chop
Yep.
just
Dog
as pet toys. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for like your dog to destroy.
yeah, or cat. I saw.
Yeah, I saw little ones.
I didn't see the cat one. I've seen a dog with the actual lamb chop dog toy.
I saw a catnip-filled lamb chop earlier today.
Weird. What is the estate of Sherry Lewis doing? Like what?
Making that money.
Rolling in glass eyes.
I mean, like any kid. I mean, you're like 30 years past anybody having a kid who
Right.
would know who lamb chop
Right,
is.
but I had a very similar conversation with someone recently, and then I swear to God we'll talk about this cartoon. But you just set it up on a tee for me. Have you ever been up to La Plaza, the
Yes.
the Hispanic grocery store over here in Lakewood, which is fantastic. They expanded taco section and everything. It's great. But they also, as many bodega type places do, sell piñatas. For like the first 4 years the place was open, they had this knockoff Elmo piñata. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get that for my kid. Like when she hits the age that Elmo's like there. And then as the time approached, I'm like, wait a second. I don't want to fill Elmo full of candy and have him beat the shit out of him with a hammer. And that's what all of these piñatas are. They're shaped. It's not like Donald Trump piñatas or, I don't know, El Guapo piñatas. It's not like evil people. It's just like, here's cute, fuzzy characters, and now beat them with a stick until they rupture and spill all over you. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or if that's just
See,
bad.
I think like now generations of Mexican children haven't like had that transference. They seem to have been able to realize a piñata is a piñata.
It's just, it's
It's not like an
matter.
effigy.
Whatever happened to piñatas? Do kids still do piñatas?
Yeah.
Am I just old now and I don't know any kids?
I bet you could make a pinata bar nowadays. Hipsters would
loved,
go to.
oh, for sure.
I heard like people don't get pinatas anymore. They do something else because of the hitting. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
so
like-
when I was a
that's
kid,
bullshit.
pinatas were huge.
I've been to
Yeah.
so many pinata parties in the last 5 years. Give it about 5 years, and when all of your cohort starts really like doubling down on the offspring, you're going to start seeing a lot of pinatas again.
I can kind of see it being good, clean fun.
I think a pinata bar is probably you're just hatching $1 million ideas out of your mouth.
Really?
Guys, let's turn this into Shark Tank. I'm looking for investors.
So, Jumbotron makes a triumphant return this week.
Yeah.
I was excited because it was like a weird robot Frankenstein. Like, what was going on with that shit?
Hollywood Hollywood Capers, 1935, whatever the.
Is that like the name of it, or is that like
Hollywood
Merry
Capers
Melodies
is probably the episode of whatever cartoon it was from.
I don't know. It looked like almost like Jaws from James Bond. You know, like this weird metal jaw getting screwed onto Frankenstein. I'm like, okay.
I'd forgotten you guys watch it on this level.
No, we don't. But having harped on the Jumbotron cartoon for like 70 episodes, once it finally went away, it was like, oh, it's done. And then here it is. Like they throw a curveball every once in
I
a
completely
while.
missed it. I'm going to be honest. I completely missed
Really?
it. Yeah.
Did you have like the, skip the
Like,
intros or
I
something?
Think, I think Hulu does that quite a bit.
I think if
if
you
you
go
watch
through,
them in order, it'll go straight to the end of the intro and then just start
then
the
right in.
episode. Yeah.
well, no more free Squid Goods for you. I really did like this one. It was completely bizarre. I've got a lot of questions about it, but like, it was fun. There was a lot of nonsense going on in a fun way with this.
Yeah. Was this part of a movie?
No, this
Okay.
is this is where we got tripped up with the production order and stuff. Like, did you look into how it got switched around or why?
I don't know. All of the episodes that we've done so far that were Comedy Central episodes were in production order when they were broadcast. But starting with this season, they're like all fucking over the place.
Yeah.
So we did switch from doing production order to broadcast order because at this point everyone's watching them on Hulu and for consistencies, like while watching.
I would assume most people
yeah.
are watching them on Hulu because I don't see their DVDs very often.
Yeah.
Can you even buy? I mean,
You can, yeah.
Yeah.
They're available.
You can buy them as
I looked it up
streamings.
after we recorded the last time because I was like, I wonder if they're only on Blu-ray or if you can get. They are on DVD, but you have to buy them in the complete series, like collector's pack on Amazon, which is like $80.
Maybe
So-
we can hit Fox
It's
up
still
for
not
that.
bad. $80
Not
for
bad,
every episode.
But still, like if you already own all of the seasons
Yes,
1
true.
through 4, then like why would you want to rebuy?
I mean, buying $80 worth of physical media anymore for me is such
There's.
I just don't. I don't want that.
no.
I don't want it in my house. I don't have room for it.
I
I
did-
don't care to own it physically.
I spent $120 on a Sparks box set, but that was totally worth it. It had like
That's
a
different.
bunch of memorabilia and
Yeah, until iTunes tells you, you know what, all those songs that you bought, we're not doing them anymore.
I know.
And then they'll be gone.
Not in my head. I'll just make them up again as they go along.
That'd almost be a blessing to our culture. Like if we just had to like start over again.
We will.
Everyone's music
don't worry.
collection that is not hard copy is
Yes.
deleted.
Oh my
Gone.
And what's gonna be fun is even stuff that's on CD. If there's no electricity, it's not like you can play a CD because you need
No, I'm just
lasers.
talking about like it just gets reset.
I know, but what I'm gonna love watching if I'm not dead, and
this is why people collect vinyl because you don't need electricity.
You just need a
You
bird.
Just need,
with a sharp, pointy beak.
yeah, I mean, the speakers would be nice, but there are ways that you can power.
It all goes back to bowl music after a while.
I'm just I like the Integratron. Fuck, I gotta get back there. Just with you going through all of your how-to videos and things, like that'll be really fun to watch when it happens because you'll know all this stuff, but if it's rusty at all or has been chemically smudged, like you'll know how to do a lot of stuff, but you'll get the steps and what they are mixed up, and that's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And probably dangerous.
Probably. You know, there was one, like, I used to live in Kentucky, and for one point in the middle of winter, there was this huge ice storm that came by, and we were knocked out of power for 11 days.
Oh, God.
And, like, the water pump was connected, was it electric, so we didn't have water either. So it was just like, there's 11 days of just, like, accidental frontier living that I had. That is just like, well, it's really just set a trajectory for the rest of my life.
And
where
that's
I'm
why
like,
I've got a machete and a bug out box in the basement, and
never be in that way again. I will have coffee if I have to start a fire and hit the beans with hammers.
big dogs mean lots of meat. Just saying.
That's actually what I did. You
ate a dog?
No, I had 2 dogs, and then another huge Labrador just showed up, and that because it was like sub-zero temperature, so I just slept with the dogs. Which,
You know, that's a thing, right? A 3-dog night.
yeah, that somebody told me that afterwards, and I had 3 dogs. Yeah.
I thought it was just a stupid name.
No, it works.
Oh, dear. You know, their drummer, Jerry Shirley, used to be a DJ. He's now a disgraced DJ and former car salesman in the Cleveland area.
Okay.
And that he could probably
Is he
have been
disgraced as a DJ or a car salesman?
probably both. My understanding, and again, hearsay for all I know, but we're like 2 lines into the show. They would do a promotion every Christmas where he'd like live in a trailer for 30 days and people would bring donations and money and whatever. And like apparently one year they showed up in the morning, like all the shit was raided and he was just like coked out of his mind and passed out and whatever. He had like a hooker party in the trailer and they're like, oh, we can't do this anymore. Like he kind of bugged out. But look, he was a contemporary of like Badfinger and stuff. Like the guy is used to a wild life. So that's a
very Cleveland story,
isn't it? Though?
Yeah,
he's from England, though.
That's,
He's like,
well, still that should be in a Cleveland Memories.
So the
museum.
professor creates a cloning machine that makes 2 smaller. Like the whole conceit of this was just ridiculous to begin with. That he's like, well, I'm getting smaller, so now I can make 2 of these sweaters and they'll fit. Like it's taking such a long way around to do it. The fact that it works as effectively as it does was another surprise. Like there wasn't any hidden weirdness to it. But what did the Bannock-Tarski dupla shrink? Like was that a Star Trek reference or something?
No, it's some science thing. You know, it's a science thing.
As usual, it is a science
It's
thing
a nerd,
that
nerd reference, like a real, like a smart nerd reference.
Yeah, I had it somewhere here, and I just don't remember where it is.
As the show got later and later on in production, these nerds were able to slip a lot more through.
yeah.
they really were. This ain't no Chopek 9. This is getting out.
It's a paradox that involves cutting up one object into non-measurable pieces and then gluing them back together to make 2 new objects of the same size without using any extra material. It's the Bannock-Tarski paradox.
I don't even understand how that.
That's
like,
witchcraft, is what you're describing.
Yeah,
Witchcraft.
I got a headache just trying to understand the words that describe that.
So you would take something and you would cut something up.
Okay.
And it would be so small, like it's just non-measurable.
Okay.
And then you put it back together. There would be but you have 2 separate things.
Okay.
Same exact size that they were originally.
Is that like how you have extra screws left over when
It's a
you
paradox
build IKEA
because
future?
it's how could you have
You can't.
right?
It's not a paradox. It's just not possible.
You can't make 2 things out of one thing.
You can definitely make 2 things out of one thing.
You can't duplicate
Like
something
my life.
without destroying it.
But I mean, just having this.
Here, Pete. Here's the math involved.
Okay.
There.
Well, this will clear it up.
Obviously. It looks like Revenge of the Nerd
Oh, well,
Fraternity.
There was
now
actually-
that I see
I've never
your
seen
math.
a U that big.
Later on in the episode, when they were showing that complicated math problem,
Yeah.
and it got to Fry, and he's like, "She ain't waiting on me."
So the thing that makes this whole machine tick is the useless matter that you just shove in. So it's also kind of eco-friendly because it's just like recycling. But the fact that the professor goes right for Zoidberg's wedding album. First of all, Zoidberg is or was married because that happened and then didn't, because before he went back to his planet to mate unsuccessfully.
I think that's the joke. Because he says any old useless matter will do. Then we see a book that says Zoidberg's wedding.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, how is that?
I
wanna
think
know
it's
about
just
that.
an empty album that Zoidberg
maybe.
has waiting for his wedding.
That's true.
Someday I'll make it. He got so upset.
I knew a girl,
and we'll never know because it was destroyed.
Yeah.
I knew a girl that got she had a wedding dress salesman talk her into buying a dress in case she does get married one day. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Was it Donald Trump?
No, that would be quite. Yeah, no, it was a Trump-like salesman though, like somebody operating on that level.
That's not just impressive. It's fucking cruel and ruthless.
yeah. Well, that's sales.
What were they doing in a wedding dress shop?
I think just
to begin
browsing.
with?
Or was she like with
browsing?
somebody getting a bridesmaid dress and like,
Because
someday this could
that's
be you.
her own fault for being in a wedding dress store, just browsing.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
So
that
blame
might
the
have been where-
victim, Tom.
I'm not blaming the victim. I'm just saying that you're asking to get a wedding dress sold
I
to you
think
if you're
If you
you're
go
in
into
there
a dress shop,
like
you're buying
shopping.
a fucking dress.
I think you are using the same rationale that dress salesperson.
If you were there like with someone else and then that salesman talked to you into buying one also, then that is a good salesman.
I can tell you the last place anybody's going to fucking find me ever from now on is a wedding dress shop. I told you I was going to try and keep it off the show, but
No, it's okay.
sometimes the door opens like the scary door.
Scary door.
My favorite part of that intro, and I can't remember if they change it every time, but the dolphin playing the trombone out of its blowhole, that was so cool. I feel like that's from a Fishbone video or
It's
something.
fun. When was this episode from? Was that little segment before or after Black Mirror was a thing? Because
This is well before.
Yeah, Scary Door's been around
it's
way
kind
before.
of funny because it's like the Scary Door is just kind of like the future's version of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So
Except
it actually
they're rebooting it now.
Yeah,
again.
it kind of was like Black Mirror. Like it was
Yeah.
like a Black Mirror episode. Like, oh, the haunted JPEG.
Enclosed is a PDF attachment, a picture of yourself in a boat on a river.
Which is Lucy in the Sky and the Diamonds, the first line of
Yeah.
that song.
It's a river that flows in two directions. Make that three. It's a magic river, that's how. And it's flowing down the Erie Canal to the Scary Door. That's Erie with two E's. Consider if you have the energy, Dr. Daniel Zenas, an inventor with a terminal case of the lazies.
I know how that feels. This is probably to date my most favorite episode of the Scary Door.
so many good ones.
Yeah, just
This is the best.
assume my social obligations. like if you could do that now, and I guess they kind of joke. There's the. It's a real thing where like they tape an iPad onto a Segway that like somebody can video conference and then like remote around. Like that's kind of a thing, but like if you could really do that, like because I got to go to so many damn holiday parties and stuff. I could just like sit home in my underwear and be like, hey everybody.
I think the technology's there. We just haven't adopted it. Like you can Skype in through somebody's smart TV, and you could just be like, "Hey, everybody!
Hey, how you doing?
I didn't want to leave the house, but I don't want to die alone. All right,
It'd be like
peace out."
In the olden days when someone would call long distance while everyone was gathered, they all
Yeah.
yell into the phone or like pass it
Yeah.
around.
Well, there was an episode of Bob's Burgers where Tina hurts herself and has to go to school
yes,
with
I was
one of
thinking,
those
yeah.
those robots, like an iPad robot.
I couldn't
with her
remember what
face
show
on
it was,
But
but yeah.
because she's not like next to Jimmy Jr., she has confidence to like talk to Jimmy Jr. or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe it was him because like he was talking to a robot, not actually her. He like they were able to talk to each other and like share things.
You just need to put an internet between you. Would you use one of those if you had access to one?
A helper thing?
Yeah. Or a robot proxy.
No. Yeah. Yes and no. I don't know. I guess it depends. I would use it. I use technology very selectively
Yeah.
and very deliberately, I think. So I don't think I would actually get much use out of a helper robot. But like, I would have him like do my driving for me.
He's moved to Chicago, but I feel like Cleveland hometown sensation Chad Weaver would be someone who would use one of those effectively in a very inappropriate bit, probably very early on. He'd be an early adopter of it.
Do you follow Chad Weaver on Facebook? He has a dirty beard and a nose ring now. So
so
he's really
like
grown up.
Cyberpunk.
He's really a man now. He's a man with a nose ring.
He's living in Logan Square. Look, I still got the hole from mine.
We go through a nose ring phase.
I took it out longer ago than Chad's been alive, I think. but still.
What if Chad Weaver just grew from that nose ring?
It's like Zeus coming out of the rock or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's great. So the professor programs the robot to do all his research. The robot gets like the Nobel Prize, so he sends him to the award ceremony or whatever. And then he's like, if only I programmed the robot to be more careful of what I wish for, and experience tragic irony for me. Like all of it, it's so beautiful to be that insulated and numb.
And the robot was like, no.
and then when the true pinnacle of lack of self-awareness, Fry and Bender wish they had a robot to do stuff for them. Were they in their apartment at the Robot Arms when they came up with that, or was that at the Planet Express office?
I think it was in the office.
Yeah.
Is that just because the professor he pages them, right?
Yeah.
And he wants Bender to go and fold things for him.
Do you see a robot in this room named Folder?
He outsmarts him though by telling him that bending is basically folding. and even so, there's been times when Bender's been like, everything is basically a primitive form of bending. So I mean, he's just lazy. He's another one with a terminal case of the lazies. Mm-hmm. Oh. So instead of doing one thing, because that seems like a real pain in the ass, he clones himself to do two things at once while he doesn't do anything. And this is where it just gets bonkers. Like, so, I mean, I like the 3-card Monty scam that they got into right away. Have you ever seen anyone actually doing that? Like in person?
No, I feel like that's a thing that existed in like 1980s New York movies.
See, I want to say,
Find the Queen.
I mean, you know, I haven't seen that. I used to work at a deli. It was like down by the Ohio State campus when it was filthy and dirty, pre-gentrification years ago. But there'd be a lot of quick change artists that would come in. So I've dealt with that a lot. Where people, and they're like, now give me one of these. Mm-hmm. And no, hang on, I'm going to give you 5 20s, but I want you to just give me back 100. Oh, hang on, you know, like, and it was one of those things where it's like, number one, you're an asshole. Number two, I can see you coming a mile away. And number three, like, just fuck off. Like, all you have to do is say no. Like, that's how you stop that sort of thing. You just,
this is insulting my intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
Con man.
You know how you keep from losing your money at a casino? You just don't go.
Right.
Because they're always going to win. The house always wins eventually. But then this one had the extra level where the robots would just like kick you in the balls and run away. So that works too.
This whole segment reminded me of me hanging out with my nephews.
You just stick them on people.
Just
like,
smaller versions of myself, and we all just like have fun and cause trouble.
You work scams.
Yeah.
The two of you stand on each other's shoulders and wear this trench coat.
The old shoulder-to-shoulder trench coat scam.
And then I'm gonna go in and get a black X on my hand saying I paid, and I'll come out and lick your hand, and you just stamp it on there, and we're getting in for free to the dog show. This line that Leela had in here that was just so beautiful in its simplicity and sort of its palindromical nature, where Leela's like. Bender said they're like 60% Bender, or like 60% is good at it or whatever. I don't remember what he said about the robots, but her response was, do they only do 60% of the work you do, or do they do more because they're only 60% as lazy?
Yeah, asking they were only 60% of his size.
Okay. That's brilliant. And he didn't answer. She dumbfounded him. He's like, I don't know. Because if that's the case, it would make that sequence where everything replicates itself again and again and again, like happen even faster because the clones are actually more effective.
It's a real funny boss thing to say. Like when you've had a funny boss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck those funny bosses.
I don't know. I'll take an unfunny funny boss any day over a shitty boss.
Yeah.
Because I had all manner of bosses in my life. Some of them unfunny, funny ones, but the shitty ones are always shitty. Oh, that's another rabbit hole to go down. I think we'll step over it.
Leela seems like a pretty good boss.
She's okay. I mean, she's the one competent person on the show, really.
Yeah.
Except maybe Hermes. Hermes is very good at being a useless bureaucrat.
She is sometimes overconfident in her abilities, but,
You know, I actually kind of have a weird comedy theory about this kind of stuff.
Really?
Because in the early 60s, you have the Andy Griffith Show. Like, the Andy Griffith Show and The Simpsons are basically the same show.
Oh, shit. You're going to blow my mind here, I think, but go for it.
It's set. They're both pretty much town-centric. They have crazy characters.
Yep.
You know, and the show is just all about the interrelation of all these crazy characters, like each just different characters.
And they just get this irrational stuff happening because the people are irrational in this weird universe.
Right.
Okay.
Andy Griffith, they would allow that because Andy Griffith was there. Andy Griffith wasn't a crazy character, but he was there.
The straight man in the eye of this hurricane?
They had a straight man. They were baby boomers. They went to war. They just needed to know that somebody competent was there or it would upset them.
Yeah.
Please, oh God, please.
Yeah. What do you mean, goobers at the garage? People taking their car there. Like, it would just upset them. But by the time that you get, to The Simpsons, you don't need an Andy Griffith character because everything could just get fucked up. And
could that be somebody like a Seymour Skinner or something? Or
no, because he's ridiculous, too. Everybody's ridiculous.
Yeah, there isn't a one in...
Is there...
Frank Grimes.
Maybe.
And it killed him.
And he died.
Maybe Lisa is the moral center, but
definitely.
She's also a little kooky still.
Yeah, but she's also a little girl. She's not in a position of authority.
I mean, trying to draw an analog between Ron Howard and Bart Simpson is just I see it. But
I think it's direct.
And then you can map out this to this. I mean, that's basically Fry.
Yeah.
And so Leela would be the Marge. But Marge is definitely the most grounded, despite being crazy too. But she's Margin in charge, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See, there's not really a Marge in the Andy Griffith Show. There's nobody who's just put upon like
There's
that.
Aunt B.
See, Aunt B was also kind of silly.
She was.
I meant more like Marge being the Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't think Marge is the Andy Griffith. I think Marge is a unique character.
Like Gomer Pyle and whatnot?
Kinda. She'd be like a Sergeant Carter.
You were talking a lot about a lot of TV shows.
Except the one that we're...
Except the one that...
Sorry.
Look, it was Tim Sterry, but I mean, that totally holds water. I think it's my lack of experience with Andy Griffith in depth that I didn't
Oh,
drop
my
it.
God.
Just
wait till I do my Andy Griffith Show podcast.
Hey, I would totally listen to that.
It'll run for 15 years.
and that's just talking about one episode.
Yeah.
Minute by minute, because it runs at an iceberg pace. So this whole this whole thing where they go to visit the self-conscious alien voiced by Patton Oswalt. This just got weird. This is a strange little side jag on this.
The package that they're delivering to him is colossal tooth whitener, mega deodorant, humongous acne cream, and one regular sized condom. And Amy goes, "Aw."
and I mean, he's 50 feet tall or something, and he's trying
all that and a small wiener. This guy's got it going on.
They delivered his fungus chisel. They pile on with the "you so ugly" jokes, and he's like, "Okay, you got me." But then when they make fun of his mom,
Fry's just not even trying to make fun of his mom. He says, "Oh, don't be sad. You probably just inherited your looks from your mother." Like Fry's trying to be nice, but says the exact wrong thing.
Although in real life, I have never been more insulted than by people trying to be nice.
All those compliments sure sound backhanded when they come from you.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
He chases them. He captures the ship, but they get away. But at this point is when it's like the replicants have just gone hog wild. And the thing that I really found interesting about this is I think I brought it up on a prior episode, just probably unrelated to anything during what was going on that one. But they basically get to the gray slime on this, which is we hit the singularity and everything goes kablooey because machines become artificially intelligent and surpass us in their capabilities. As nano machines gain the ability to self-replicate, one of those worst case scenarios is they basically consume all of the matter on Earth and turn it all into nanobots and just become gray sludge and consume the planet until there's nothing left.
There's a video game that came out fairly recently that is almost that exact same premise.
Really?
And it's really good. If you have
Is
not
it Japanese?
No, it's not. It's Horizon.
It's called Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's Horizon Zero Dawn. It's set in the future, but it looks like the past, and you can find like ancient artifacts, and it's like a coffee mug that was in some office building, and it's like, wow, an ancient drinking vessel, and it's like...
So it's basically like you're in old New York or something, so it's like future, but then...
Sort of, everyone is kind of dressed like Vikings, and all of the animals are actually robot animals, and you find out why. Like, the more that I explain, the more of the game that I ruin.
Oh,
but I highly suggest Horizon Zero Dawn. It came out like 2 years ago, so if you haven't played it, it's kind of your own fault.
Man, I don't know. I love video games so much, but they murder my time. I don't understand how people...
I have actually been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 since October 20 whatever when it came out.
I would like to... I only have a Nintendo Switch, which I love, but I'm like, ooh, like Red Dead Redemption came out.
Right.
That's like really, it's cowboys and open world, so that's really speaking.
And
Speaking,
yeah,
beautiful.
But I cannot buy another system.
Just for the game.
Well, I would find other games in order to justify buying the system.
Yeah.
Then I'm broke.
Far Cry 5 right now. That's what I'm playing, and it's awesome. But you turn around
playing Worlds
and,
of Tomorrow,
and 4 hours are gone like that.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I don't understand how people like maintain jobs and relationships.
she doesn't.
Hey, I maintain a job just
This
fine.
is. I don't play video games and I can't maintain relationships, so it's all fine.
Man, yeah.
The way that you described the world of that was it Zero Dawn Horizon?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got most of the words.
Yep.
Zero Dark 30.
It sounds like the aforementioned thing of the electromagnetic pulse where you cross-pollinate all of your YouTube DIY videos and like you're training animals and accidentally turning them into half robots and making your own Viking wear. Like I think you ought to play it, Tim.
I kind of want to now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go find a free version at the
love
exchange
it.
or something.
I love it when video games have dogs in them, and then I can befriend them. I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
you can. You can do that in Red Dead Redemption too. You
And
can,
Far Cry
you can pet the dogs
5.
and the horses and
Zelda, Breath of the Wild. You were able to do that too.
You can get a rocket
there's-
dog in
there's
Worlds
a-
of Tomorrow.
There's a dog named Rufus in Red Dead Redemption 2, and if you study, like, press R1 to study Rufus or whatever, so that he's added to, like, your book of animals that you can see in the game, it says, like, it'll describe the animal that you're studying, and it just says Rufus is a good boy. It's like my favorite part of the game so far.
Oh God! So I think I jumped ahead talking about gray slime, but basically, the replicants are out of control. So it's just like
A lot of this
overrun. They're
episode is
infested.
just a bunch of benders doing
Like hijinks?
Hijinks.
Bender
Yeah.
shit.
It's a big fat roach. I thought I put that away.
Yeah.
I liked when they ate the crayon and then they turned that into crayon benders.
Yeah, yeah. And is this where the gold benders come from too, or was that
Goldbender is from the other universe.
okay? Oh, that's right. All right, I got it. I forgot about that thing, but like
Universe.
what is that tiny
Universe
bender
1.
doing in my soup? He appears to be giving you the finger, sir.
That's another like that's the oldest joke ever. Like I'm glad they were able to get that in. Like
That's straight off of like an Andy Griffith or McHale's
I think that's
Navy or
actually a
something.
Marx Brothers thing. Like what's this fly doing in my stoop? The backstroke. That's the original joke.
Now I don't know if this was just because the production order is different and we're watching it in broadcast, but Scruffy's no longer a female.
They never.
He never resolve it. He just turns back some, or maybe the Borax kid comes back. Like,
Yeah,
I forgot.
That's
one.
what I assume happened.
'Cause the last episode we did, they did a gender switcheroo, and everybody got fixed, but Scruffy.
I remember that happening.
What a miss.
That was a troubling one. But we had fun once we got everything working. No, I have a thing here though. Why did the benders turn gold? Was that the crayon ones?
Yeah, they were like orangish.
Okay, all right. So I maybe just the color on my computer screen wasn't the right color for my eyes or something.
Maybe your eyes aren't showing the right color.
Oh, my eyes are all. I need an exam, and my bifocals aren't working so good anymore. But
Your bifocals aren't working.
oh, you'll get transition lenses too, Sally.
When you say transition, now like your next step is to get those like ones that turn into sunglasses when you go out into the sun.
I want some of those.
I've
I want
always
them.
been fascinated by those because they do not look cool, but they seem like such a good idea.
You know, because they don't work right. My mom always had them,
Yeah.
but she had a lazy eye, and she always did it. But she always wore like tinted glasses, which people just did then, so it wasn't as out of place.
Right.
But like looking back at pictures, like everybody was so mysterious. like we're all playing a hand of poker.
I mean, it could just be to make it look like they're not nicotine stained instead of being just straight up nicotine stained. Because back then, when everybody had tinted glasses, you could still like smoke everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, we'll just make them kind of yellowy brown anyway, and then you don't have to clean them as much.
I was in Kentucky for Thanksgiving, and we went to a restaurant that still had smoking in it.
What?
That's so weird.
I know.
Kentucky doesn't have a smoking ban. So you walk in and they're like, smoking or not smoking? And you're like, whoa, is it 1995? What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Smoking inside? What the hell?
I mean, it is jarring when that happens, and I travel a lot, but I don't encounter that anywhere.
This is rural Kentucky, so this is exactly where you would think you would encounter that.
The company I work for now is based in the South, and I imagine I'll be doing a lot more work down there, so I'll probably get some Carolina action or something going on, but that's...
When I told me and my girlfriend, and we're like, and this is always, but we have to say is like, my brother actually said it. He was like, now they're vegetarian. And and the waitress looked at me and she's like,
But are they straight?
I don't know about that. And then she just like walked.
She literally said that. Oh my God.
But they did a good job. They cleaned it first. They like cleaned the grill first. They brought ours
Oh
out
my
first.
God.
They were really conscientious about it.
Would they just make you potatoes or something?
Like cheese omelet.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. They did what they could.
I actually had someone in Nebraska say, "You ain't from around here, are you?" once, and it's jarring when that kind of stuff happens.
Oh yeah.
It's fun though.
I've been called a Yankee, which is weird.
only
I like
only
that.
south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah. Yeah, Yankee, why don't you go back to where you came from? Like,
See,
I still came from America. Like,
we don't recognize that country. These are the Confederate states.
like, it's not, though. This was an abolitionist state.
Thanks, Obama. So the professor does do his math, and that's where you get to the gray sludge thing.
Yeah,
So-
that math thing, that like what happened earlier when they were looking at that program.
So he just figures they need to kill 2045? Or is it 2046 and they already killed one?
Did it kill a total of 2046?
And then they step on
Okay.
one, and then they...
So how... I didn't get what the popped benders were. That was the thing that was... Like,
That was
when they were
weird.
popcorning, like...
Yeah, then they ate a bunch of jagged metal.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I don't
It was
know.
like chewing on aluminum foil. Like, it just made the hairs stand up on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
I think it was a joke that kind of like
It slipped through.
it slipped. Yeah.
You could tell that these were starting to get a lot less budget. So I think in this one didn't get a draft 3.
Bender... One of the benders is a toy, so... That's that.
From Bender's sitcom.
Yeah. How many times has Bender been on television?
Several. I mean, he was on all my circuits repeatedly.
What was Bender's catchphriend?
Don't something pumpkin bumpkin. What is it?
Oh, I wrote it down somewhere. I think he just said, "Shut your pumpkin, bumpkin."
And at this point, I mean, really a fate worse than death. The robots consume all of the alcohol in the world, which then they'll all just die because they'll run out of fuel, apparently. But the fact that Linda
Linda's
flips
freaking
out, I mean, I know how she feels. Like, I can imagine what that's like, and it's scary. But Scruffy then, like, a greater tragedy my eyes have never beheld. Well, into the turlet. Loved it. It's just like, for as ridiculous as this was, and it was just like a bunch of sight gags now, like,
Yeah.
there's so many good lines in here. Until the bathwater turns into alcohol, because the benders have now changed all of the, they're generating alcohol by doing the chemical
liked
thing.
That, like, just that plot twist or whatever. Like the fact that like they are so small that they can manipulate molecules.
Yeah.
And turn it into
Gray sludge, man. They're
Yeah.
that's quantum computing. They're doing computations on an atomic level. We're gonna be fucked, and it's gonna be up to Tim and his Viking clothes and his robot dogs to
Yeah,
save
you
us.
can't.
or Ant-Man.
Can he
If he
get
gets
that small?
he can go to the quantum realm.
Really?
Yeah, he does in the. Well, I'm not going to ruin it if you haven't seen.
I haven't
Well,
seen
he
Ant-Man
does it
a while,
in
so he does it-
Ant-Man.
yeah.
In the
Yeah.
first Ant-Man, he does it. He gets so small, he ends up going into the quantum realm, and then he gets back out.
See, most of the time I watch these movies and I've been drinking. And
well.
I don't have a lot of good recall.
But he can get that small.
Okay.
Kind of getting sick of superhero stuff, guys.
They're gonna blow it out
Yeah,
with
it's
this
the whole
Avengers
thing.
4
Yeah,
thing,
this.
right?
Yeah,
This is my end to this whole.
I'm already.
thing,
I'm
like-
like 10 Marvel movies behind, and I
Yeah.
tried to
I'm
do
not,
a rewatch.
and this is where I'm gonna like.
I watched the trailer the other day, and seeing Ant-Man wave at the Avengers, I liked that. That was fun.
I liked it too. You know, Aquaman was my favorite character growing up.
What's wrong with you?
I thought it was. I grew up at a time when the Aquaman comics were really good.
Okay. Is this when he was like lost an eye and had a trident and stuff?
Like he had the hook hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hook hand
Okay.
Aquaman. But I liked other Aquaman too. I like animals. I like politics. Like that's who I grew up to be. It's not
Going to be a benign monarch
Yeah.
who talks to fish.
it's really not that big of a I don't have that many interests. And Aquaman just kind of meets at him, but I don't think this movie is going to be good at all.
No, the DC,
DC
ones have
movies
been
never
very-
are, but Jason Momoa, I do like him.
He reminds me of like a doodle, like a big,
doodle.
just like a puppy that is just like can't control his energy and just like runs up to everyone and just gives him a giant hug.
Is that just because of that meme?
He just like every time I see like videos of him, he's just
goofball.
like
He was on
goofing
SNL
around and
last
like
weekend.
so excited to be doing anything.
He was on Saturday Night Live last weekend.
was very awkward.
It was not like the best. This season overall hasn't been like the best season.
Right.
But he was still like, you don't expect him to be like this big old lovable goofball, but he is. Totally is.
I want to see like him and Joe Manganiello do like a buddy comedy.
You would need to lay down tarps in the theater. If you put those two together, that would be like...
I mean, you'd need to do that for that Pee Wee Herman movie, too.
Well, I mean, Joe Manganiello is in that movie, but Jason Momoa is not. You put them together, you got like... That's
Gush
just
hour
too
two.
much.
I'm sorry.
Well, you know, when the 50 Shades movies came out, one of them came out on Valentine's Day or something, and the movie theater workers were finding like sex toys in the theaters that people were leaving behind because they were
like
coming
prepping
in
for a Gallagher
like
show or something.
cucumbers and other vegetables.
brother.
Just go to get
brother.
a sex toy, you cheap bastard.
Is that something Christian Grey would do, or would he use the produce of the earth because it's more organic?
What? I actually don't.
I
know
hate
that much
whatever just happened. Don't ever do that voice again.
How do you feel about fine cognac with a hint of aged scrotum, though?
I do like cognac.
I liked when it was like chug, 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 chug.
Which is everyone gets wasted, and that's the other fun thing is like when the whole world is drunk on day 6 without water. And it takes some real weird turns with Morbo and Linda both being wasted.
Which with the line that Morbo makes that Michelle said at the beginning is like one of my favorite lines of all of Futurama.
Just
Pretty much protally fit chased. Also, Linda says, "Hey, you. Good evening. Who you calling drunk? You're not drunk. I'm drunk."
What's that little hi little man?
no survivors from the Indy 500.
You want to see a picture of my boy?
That's your penis.
That's my boy.
That was Hermes gets so randy. I don't think he's really a drinker. Normally he's just smoking. It's a whole thing. But then there's this shockingly fast denouement where the giant alien tracks him down at Earth and comes back to apologize instead of revenging them.
I like that this alien has really been working on himself.
He's here for revenging. That's why.
Oh, I mean, it's
He comes to apologize, but they just all happen to be all completely wasted. So
Shitty.
they're just gonna be assholes.
yeah. Oh, they just go off and enrage him. They make him Hulk out. It's so crazy. And then Drunk Kiff is maybe one of the best things that's ever been on the show because he's so giggly and like clingy on Zap. Like he doesn't even have his normal like disdain. He's just, oh, you're so funny. You know, he loves it and just blowing the guy up. It's just not. Well, they don't blow him up. They attack him, and then he really flips out. And goes on a rampage, like the video game Rampage.
It was like Rampage.
Oh, I love that game. I still like go to 16-bit and play it every once in a while.
They make it's a retail product. It's like a tiny little stand-up arcade of Rampage now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was like a sex toy of Rampage or something because it could go any way after the way this show's gone.
They probably do make them. You get like a little like Godzilla one and a gorilla one and a wolf man.
And then they grow and shrink.
Yeah.
And to shock you, it's just live electrical terminals like cattle prods. Oh, another $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn your show into smut.
Oh, look, the last time you were on, we got real weird in a way worse way. So it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
This is infinitely better.
I felt bad about that afterwards. I'm like, I gotta stop telling people that out.
We could talk about it off mic, but
No.
But I think Gush Hour 2 is going to go down as one of the best lines on the show ever. So Bender being the only one who's sober, needs to like do something, but he still doesn't want to do more than one thing, and the sweaters hadn't been folded yet. I mean, it's insane. But they turn into the giant Bender Voltron because Fry volunteers to fold the sweaters.
He like calls all tiny benders to him.
Yeah, can that happen?
Obviously, it did.
Well, it did in the show. I'm just wondering about when we hit the singularity and there's
there's going to be the one.
Did they share one?
It's going to be a
consciousness? Is that why it is a singularity, or does singularity just mean that there's? I don't know. Oh God, we're getting closer.
Singularity, I thought always just meant that everything came down to one.
No, I mean, thing. I think.
I don't know. That's how I think of it. The end of everything.
The definition, as I understand it in that context, is it's the point where machines or computers gain self-sentience. And at that point, they will exponentially, rapidly outpace like the thinking capabilities of humans, and we're fucked.
Do you think this is the same argument Amish people had just like 200 years ago? And about zippers?
But look, did any of Joaquin Phoenix's clothes have zippers in her? Because it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Or did he have them? They're just in weird places.
Weird places, probably.
Okay.
Or molecular adhesion.
Maybe. He had... There's a lot of turtlenecks and narrow jackets.
I've never
stuff.
seen her. I'm sorry.
He falls...
I thought I could fake it.
It's basically...
I haven't seen it either, but
it's about the singularity. It's not bad. I mean...
Yeah, I know what it's about. I just never got around to watching it, and then it just felt like it was too late to see it.
Kind of like Suicide Squad.
Oh, God. Glad I got mad because someone who was using my HBO login watched Suicide Squad, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I didn't see
How dare they?
I didn't see the Superman and Batman one, but I just had some time to kill, so me and my girlfriend went to go watch Suicide Squad in the theater.
Really?
And it was so bad.
Really?
I hated it.
It's awful.
I'm gonna make another one.
I know.
The what? I
They're
didn't know
making
that.
a sequel.
They can't possibly.
They are.
I think there might be two in the works
Fucking-
because there's like a Suicide
Supposedly, James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy, is going to be
Yeah.
directing it.
Yep.
Because he got fired from his
Yep.
Disney gig
Yep.
because of his
Because
tweets from so long ago.
Like, why do they keep making these? Like, nobody likes these movies. Why do they keep on thinking they're going to work?
Because foreign people watch them and pay money.
Because if Marvel can do it, so can we.
But
how come Marvel can do it and we can't?
I think that
Because
powers
Marvel
that
found
be,
the right person to run their cinema
Mm-hmm.
universe stuff.
the powers that be don't even care about it that deeply. It's just like we can spend this much
What can
money
we make money
domestically,
on?
and then we'll make way more money internationally.
Doesn't
they
matter
have
if it's
to
good
make
if it banks.
the movies, or they start losing the rights to, so other studios can take them. So they just keep cranking them out.
That was how Roger Corman hung on to the Fantastic Four rights for so long, is because he made that shitty movie in like 1987 or whatever. He's just like, just get it out. It never came out, but he had made the product, and then he held on to the rights until Fox bought
That's
them
why
from him.
they come out with a Hellraiser movie every like few years.
Really? They still?
They don't even have Doug Bradley. He's not involved at all. And he like comes out and says, "This is like, I don't condone like or support any of these."
Why don't they just come out with a movie where a child dies again, or just something sad? Like
I bet that's going to happen in this movie Glass. I'm kind of looking forward to that. The M. Night Shyamalan superhero movie that's coming out.
Tired of superheroes.
But this is real superheroes. And more, it's two supervillains and one superhero, and the superhero is Bruce Willis.
Pass.
Good Bruce Willis.
No, it's a sequel to
It's a sequel to Unbreakable.
Unbreakable and
Pass.
Split.
The Split.
I didn't see
I haven't seen
Split.
any of those movies.
Unbreakable. Basically,
There's going to be a twist in
yeah,
somewhere in it.
There may not. Maybe the twist will be there's not a twist. He just makes a good fucking movie again. But you have to understand, like those first, he had a good, strong 3-film run at the beginning, which is why he's had a bad 7-film shit show since, because they're like, he's still got it. But Unbreakable is a fantastic fucking movie.
I liked it back then, but then I didn't have like 10 years of superhero movies.
But it's
shoved
so
down our
understated
throats.
and dark. I mean,
It's not even a superhero movie,
No.
though. It's more of a
It's a heroic quest.
and a thriller
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
But-
it's I have very high hopes for it. It's a lot of talented actors, and just from watching that trailer, like, because I didn't see Split, and I didn't even know that they tied together until recently. But watching the trailer, like, I can get behind this. This is good. Anyway, Bender and Ugly Guy fight. There's a Guggenheim swirly involved,
I like
which I like. I think that's a Jackson Pollock move too.
Which, okay, I thought about the Guggenheim. Like, do you think they rebuilt it? Or do you think that they,
It could just be descendants of the Guggenheims that,
like, put another one up?
yeah,
Okay.
Maybe it still stands, and then it's like,
or they turned it into a mall.
Like, well, because there's New York, original New York is underneath.
yeah, old New York.
And so they either would have had to, like, bring it up or move it or
I mean,
built a new
there's
one.
still,
Because
like-
everything else is different. There's not the Empire State Building, it's the Vampire State Building. There's the Madison Cube Garden.
Yes.
And they don't really have, like, they all have, like, different versions of this stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think you're right. Then they rebuilt.
Something I thought of when I was watching it, Pete. Just thought you would.
I don't know. I mean, I guess in the context of it, like, either of those things is possible. It could have just been on some sort of rocky promontory that didn't sink, and everything else did.
Maybe.
You never know. And maybe the original Guggenheim from our time is built out of some, fireproof shit, and when
Maybe
it
it
got
floats.
apart- It might. It sounds kind of like some sort of weird boat. There's a big Godzilla Mothra fight though between Giant Bender and the Ugly Guy. Bender gets beaten to shit and theoretically dies, and then
That was like kind of a cool action sequence too, when
Yeah.
he like hits them and like a bunch of tiny benders
and
go
they just
flying.
fly out. Like
Yeah.
it all each component that comes off him is a gestalt of the. I loved it, but then the mini benders just turn into gray slime and consume him, which is gross.
Yeah.
And then they just fly off into space. That's the part I didn't. They're just like, whoop, and off
Is that
they
what
go.
happened? I thought they all died.
No, they
'Cause he-
left.
Oh.
They kind of turned into like a mini gray sludge tornado and just split. Which I guess, spoiler alert. We were just talking about her, and now nobody's going to go watch it anyway. That's what happens at the end of it. Like the singularity is achieved. They're like, we're going away, and they go somewhere like into space with no physical bodies, but they transmit themselves off.
Do you think that will happen in the singularity?
Not until after they consume us,
Oh.
and we're dead.
Well, we
And
need to
just
get.
him
We
and
need
his
to
robot
start.
dogs are there
We
to
need to
save
start
us.
building a robot stay on our side.
That's what the Terminator is, right? The T2.
I sure hope someone in the future has started sending somebody back. No, the T2 is the bad guy.
I forgot what the thinking was on that, but that's fine. Was it T or T2000?
The T1000 is the bad guy in T2.
Okay, I can't.
Robert Patrick.
I know the brother of the filter guy, but it's fine. Who says, well, that was dumb? Because that's such a well understated line.
Bender.
So he just says that when he
Because
comes
all the
to-
benders fly away where they don't have to do one quintillionth of a thing at a time. And they fly off, and he just goes, well, that was dumb.
and then everyone is
was.
just hung over.
But somehow the sweaters get folded.
Fry said he was going to do it, right?
But he said he
He
didn't do it.
says, I didn't do it. Bender, did you learn a lesson about not being lazy while the rest of us were bombed out of our gourds? And Bender says, maybe I did, Fry. Or maybe I rescued one last mini Bender to fold stupid, ugly sweaters while I laughed at him. I guess we'll never know.
But then his cigar is full of mini benders, and that's the part I didn't get.
Which means he probably saved the one bender, and that bender replicated, and it started all over, and now they are...
Or benders are a part of all of us now.
That might
We're all
explain-
Bender down to the atomic level.
That might explain the aches and pains.
Can I say that, like, because I watched this show, the episode again earlier today, just make sure.
Refresh.
And then I watched Dumplin' on Netflix, and boy,
heard
that
good
was
things.
it was. It was an emotional roller coaster. I should have watched that before doing a podcast.
I've heard good things too. I'm so far behind in all of my.
What
Netflix.
is that? I've not heard it.
It's this little chubby girl who joins a beauty pageant, and her mom, Jennifer Aniston, is a beauty queen, and
Stage mothers her.
Doesn't stage mother her, but doesn't think that she can do it.
Oh, okay.
And
so she's like an anti-stage mother.
Yeah, she's like an anti-stage mother.
Girl wants to do it, and then her mother is
like, no, it's not hard, and it's not like Jennifer Aniston was a completely bad person.
She didn't want her feelings to get hurt or something.
Right, she was trying to protect her, and it's something she took super seriously, and the chubby girl was hurt by that, and it's all got a Dolly Parton soundtrack.
Which makes everything better.
It really does. It's intense.
Since we're getting close to the holidays, I will recommend both of the Dolly Parton holiday movies to everyone who has a television.
Movies?
Yes.
Are they just like variety shows?
Coat of Many Colors, and then God, what's the other one called?
Coat or Code?
Coat.
Okay.
Like the Dolly Parton song.
Yeah.
A Coat of Many Colors.
Like the
Mama
story
made
from the
for
Bible?
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's also like they were so poor that her mom made her a coat out of
patches.
Fabric, like the fabric they could get. Then she went to school and she got made fun of for having like a poor person patch up coat. Yeah, but that's what the song's about.
What was kind of good about that movie is that they actually did kind of show like
it's
it was
a fucking good. They're both good movies.
Yeah.
So what's the other one?
I can't remember what it's called.
I can't either. I watched
something
it,
about
though.
a Dolly Parton Christmas or something like that.
Is Dolly in it? Or
yeah,
is she
she's
just...
in both of them, and one of them,
she plays Santa Claus. In
there
one
was
of them.
I had on my Facebook memories when I posted about watching it. I think I watched it with my mom after Thanksgiving a couple years ago when it came out. That Dolly Parton is a Time Lord. Like there's a part in the movie where she is Dolly Parton with like a hot red car, like vintage car, and then she's like talking to herself as a child in the movie. And like inspires herself as a child to like, don't give up,
It's not a Nashville Christmas. It's not Santa Stole Our Dog, A Merry Doggone Christmas.
What?
Why would
I think
Santa steal
she's
the
just
dog?
on the soundtrack for that. Maybe
I will be watching that immediately, of course.
I'm trying to find the stuff where she's an actor, but it's.
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot I could tell you.
Yeah, I know. This is. Oh shit. This is upcoming.
It was
project.
a Christmas of Many Colors. Is that what it was called?
I think that's what I'm looking at.
I'm looking for
my
it.
sister just posted earlier her Christmas song from the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, and it's still a great song.
I feel like Dolly Parton would be Dolly Parton's Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of Love. That sounds kind. And then The War on Christmas Part 1 and Christmas at Home. I think that's your other one.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, Billy Baker, Rachel Dennison.
Coat of Many Colors is definitely one of them.
The Circle of Love, which
Circle of Love.
I bet it would be cool as shit to hang out with Dolly Parton.
I bet she is cool.
She's a great woman. Like, do you know that she's got an organization where if you sign up your child, she will send her organization will send a book to your kid every month until it's like a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's free, completely free.
Yeah.
It's just a book every month for the kid's whole childhood because she believes that
all written by Dolly Parton.
No, they're like actual, educational books. She says that education's important. Every kid should have books to read, and it's like her own money and then what she gets donated.
Yeah.
It's just completely free. It's awesome. Anyway, that's our podcast about Dolly Parton.
Well, let's talk about Willie Nelson because he seems cool as shit too. I
know you're joking, but I really could.
No, I know. That's like I got to see him once at the Ohio State Fair 150 years ago. And it was. I still remember it. It was just great.
I saw him just recently. It was supposed to be a package show with him and Merle Haggard, but Merle Haggard died in between buying the ticket.
It would have been pretty great if they brought him out anyway.
Yeah. Well, the slot was filled by Chris Christopherson and Merle Haggard's sons, which was kind of cool.
That's crazy.
I mean, everybody's getting super old, but it was like it was really
that's
cool.
the scary part. Like Pete Shelley from the Buzzcocks just died. He's like, yeah, he's in his 60s. Like
That's not old. I don't want to die in my 60s.
That's rock and roll old, though.
That's real. That is definitely.
I guess
rock and roll.
old but I don't know. Look at the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, but they have. It's like Ozzy. They have money for new blood, periodically.
They are doing their farewell tour.
Coming up
another
soon. One.
They are like, I mean, they're almost 80, right?
They're old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old as fuck.
I mean, but that was why I flew across the damn country to go see Sparks last month, because they're in their 70s. And it was fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But like that shit, you got to jump on that shit now. And it's a lesson I should have learned 20 years ago. Even a band of like, young band guy ages, if they're coming to town and it's somebody you like, you need to go see them, because they could break up, someone could die.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I never got to see Merle Haggard. That was supposed to be that.
That was supposed to be it, and you got screwed, Tim.
I know.
Terrible. Lots of twists and turns, but it was all in good fun, for sure. Thanks for coming back on. Again.
Hey, no problem.
So, as mentioned early on, you always have a number of creative projects, and then we just missed your Christmas variety show, I think, last week.
Yeah, that was really well attended and kind of fun.
That's
so,
awesome. But
pretty fun.
what else
I
is
shouldn't
coming
say it
up?
like that. This Saturday, we're doing pet photos with Santa. At
This will
Platform
probably
Beer.
go out after, or is this going to come up?
No, it won't. It'll be a while.
So
before this comes out.
last Saturday, Tim was
last Saturday. Well, that's all right. Starting January 11th, then I will be doing group classes with dogs. That's BYOB at the Skidmark Garage, where they hold Ingenuity
Oh, cool.
Fest.
I think, I've definitely seen that too. So like dog training.
Yeah,
and
it's BYOB.
Dog training and
Is it
drinking.
Yeah.
Bring your own bark.
That's really good. BYOB. It's kind of like I'm modeling after those like wine painting and wine classes.
You can do painting and wine. You can do beer and yoga. Beer and dog training.
Yeah, beer and dog training, which is actually when it is actually most. If you can handle your dog when you're drunk, your dog will repay that. Like your dog will get you home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can you get the dogs drunk too? That's probably not healthy.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
They
I'm
do
just
make
asking.
like dog brews made out of like the leftover like barley and stuff, like the leftover mash. But I think that's just to let the dog feel included.
My dog pissed on my bed last night.
Really? The new one? Or one of the old ones?
Yeah, no,
Or you just you have an old one and a new one now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, how old?
She is.
I just like one. They had one pass
We
away
believe-
recently, so there's
yeah.
a newer one and one that they had before. I don't.
We have.
they're not
We
old.
got a 1 year. Like we think she's around 1 year old. She's a German Shepherd Akita mix.
Okay.
And
Oh,
she.
jeez. Okay.
We adopted her. She had pneumonia when we adopted her. We didn't know that. And then she went right into heat, so we're waiting to get her fixed. But she won't tell us when she wants to go outside. Like,
Okay.
she doesn't let us know. So I was going to actually talk to you about it off mic. But,
Okay.
but yeah, no.
Wow, that's-
pissed right in the middle of the
A
fucking
German
bed last
Shepherd
night.
and an Akita. If you could like breed that with a Cane Corso, you would have the entire axis of evil in one dog.
She's great, though.
I have this. When I bought a mattress a couple years ago, as part of the warranty, they made you buy this cover for it that is not permeable by liquid. You might want to look into one of those. It's not like a plastic sheet, but it's like some sort of fabric that just repels.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
It's not going to help you now.
no.
Folex is what you need to
Nature's
get now.
Miracle works pretty well, though.
Excellent. That's what I call dog piss. You just rub it into your elbows. It's like coconut oil. You can draw with it. Any comedy stuff coming up besides that, or just you'll be around in places?
I'll be around at places the first week at Hilarities.
Okay.
And that's really that.
Who are you with at Hilarities?
I don't know.
You don't know?
He just shows up, and it's usually somebody good.
You know, sometimes it is. I don't know. I've reached a weird old. I like old, when it's an old man comic. I tend to like it more because I've just reached that point in my career where it's like, all right, nobody's going to try and hang out after the show.
I can go home back to the Netflix.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. Like,
I understand that completely. It's like the best kind of shows for me now when my band plays. Like, are we playing early, and is there time to get our shit back into the practice space before the next band starts? Because then I'm off the clock for the rest of the night.
Oh, it's so sweet.
It's the best.
It's so sweet. It's worse when the headliners are like, "Hey, you want to go grab a beer, hang out? Maybe." It's like,
I need to be an ambassador.
yeah, like it's okay. I know you're like, but it's like I have people that love me. I want to go home.
That's why
to them.
I don't do this for a living.
Yeah. It's
What I wanted to get to though is the last time you were on, you were creating a country music podcast about, and I think it's like there's one that's like cocaine.
Yeah.
And
That
rhinestones or something.
that one has come out. Unfortunately, and this is the aforementioned cat.
Yeah.
Dumped an entire glass pitcher of water all over my computer.
Oh God.
With all the information that resided inside. I did not have it on an external hard drive, which is partly
What
my
kind of
fault.
computer?
It was a Mac, and he toasted it. Here's what happened, and I didn't pick it up because he did it overnight.
How many
all.
pieces in a what was that cloning technique?
whatever,
The Braxton Hicks or whatever. Like, how many pieces did you cut the cat into after that?
I didn't do anything. It was arranged in such a way. So like there was the fan. There was the fan that was on it, and it was a glass pitcher. And he also broke the pitcher, which tells you. I also
belligerent fucking cat.
I liked that pitcher too. Like it was.
Oh, man.
It was really heartbreaking. I do have a podcast out and available now that is also about dogs. If people are interested,
Absolutely.
It's called The Unknowable Dog, and it's on iTunes and all that
Like
stuff.
about cryptozoological dogs, or just
It's kind of about the skills that go behind dog training. So instead of like talking about like making like basic obedience stuff,
Yeah.
sit or stay, like it like helps you teach things like patience or building trust or like.
Does it work with people?
Yeah, I think relationships are kind of relationships. That's kind of what we're really talking about dogs. But if you can like relate to a dog, you're
you're
can relate
giving
to
the
people.
whispering skills needed to whisper to animals. I'm gonna have to check that out just for my own mental health, probably.
It helps. In the first episode, I talk with it's all about building trust, and I talked with some psychologist out in California, just all about like building trust and how it relates to children and the effects on trust on children and how it's built.
Well, go listen to The
and other
Unknowable
people.
Dog, then, people.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting.
Oh, thanks. The next one is coming out. It's like once a month at this point. The next one is all about Balto. The famous dog. I talk with.
Do you talk with Balto? Do you go to the museum here and talk to the taxidermied corpse?
I talked with the Balto expert, and we got a lot of good Balto footage. We talked all about the taxidermy, actually.
Stick the mic in its hand.
Balto, you've been here 50 years. What's the scoop? Do you come alive at night?
Romp about the museum.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Always a wonderful time having you here, Tim. Go listen to his projects or see him out and about. We can be found at slurmcast.com. You can email at us at slurmcastpod@gmail.com. We're on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and God, it's been so long.
We're not really on Twitter very much.
I mean,
we are, but we're not.
I like a lot of stuff. Just I keep the feed going. It's been a real busy year.
Yeah.
At SlurmcastPod on Twitter, at SlurmcastPod on Instagram. Facebook is just Slurmcast. Rate and review us on iTunes. Call us 216-438-1077.
Have you guys ever actually received a call?
Not in several months, but we used to all the time.
Okay.
Interesting ones sometimes. So that's your cue, people. Give us a call.
Yeah,
write us a review, and Michelle can tell another art school
Yeah,
spooky
I just
story.
checked while we were recording a little earlier, and we have not had a new review in iTunes since July.
Oh.
So
Whoa.
get on this shit.
Yeah, let's get a couple
Let's
more in
get
before
some.
the end of the year.
Rate and review, people. Come on. Listen to this over the holidays with your family.
We totally missed the most listened to podcasts on iTunes this year. I don't know how that happened.
Are we pretty close to 100,000 downloads though?
We are. I think
Have we surpassed that number?
I
check it
know. I
out.
don't think we have yet, but
we're very close.
We're very
though.
close.
If we
Get
play
us
our
there,
cards right,
people.
maybe by the end
Share
of
our
the year.
shit. Share
Yeah.
it, download it, listen to it, tell your friends to listen to it. Anybody who likes cartoons or Futurama,
Or
let them know.
dogs,
Let them
or-
know. We
Have
talk
you guys
about
listened
all
to the
kinds
History of
stuff.
Animation podcast?
I listen to many cartoon podcasts.
It was really good. It was put out. I don't know who it was put out by, but it was super great and well done, and I learned a ton from it.
I have a lot more self-directed time soon. I'll have to go check it out.
Okay, I'll shut up. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
bye.